Welcome back to Wednesdays with Wilfred. On this special Bell Let's Talk edition, we have the Guinness World Record Holder for Turkish get-ups and alum extraordinaire Nolan De Leon sharing his thoughts on mental health and why it was so important to tie his world record to removing barriers to mental illness. Nolan, thank you so much for joining us, and let's jump right into that. First of all, congratulations on that world record. And
Thanks so much.
secondly, why was it so important for you to partner with Mood Disorders Manitoba when you were trying to achieve that world record?
There was a moment when the pandemic first hit. So I was in Belgium doing research. I was doing pediatric research, and I was, enjoying my time, enjoying my project. And when COVID hit, I kind of had no choice but to abandon my project. I was shipped back home, and when I was at home, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a project. All this money that I had put into this research is just now not happening, and I didn't really know what to do. I was honestly just very sad and depressed because I felt like my life didn't have any direction. I felt like I didn't want to get up anymore. I felt like every day was starting to be the same day, and I was concerned. I was looking at how the state of the world was, not even just with COVID, but there was a lot of political tension last year. There was a lot of tension, racial tension. There was lots of things happening, and it felt like it was overwhelming. It just felt like there was no real hope for things getting better. And I was lying down in bed. It was in the morning. I woke up and I just kind of thought, I don't want to get out of bed today. I just want to stay here in my safe blanket, and just allow myself to be this. And I thought to myself, you could stay in bed, or you can get up. You can get out of bed, you can get up. And if that's the only thing you do today, then just be okay with that. We're told to be strong all the time, but I think also we need to be gentle with ourselves. And I think the idea of getting up out of bed was really important for the beginning of the pandemic. Just being able to convince yourself that it is worth it. And later on that day, I was doing a workout as I usually do, and I just kind of thought, well, I was doing the Turkish get up, and that's where I was holding the weight, and I just kind of thought, this is very, very similar to what I was feeling this morning. I have the weight of the world on my shoulders, and all I'm asking myself to do is get up to my feet one more time, every single time. And that's kind of when it clicked. And I was like, this can be something bigger than it is now.
Thank you so much. You were able to raise thousands of dollars for Mood Disorders Manitoba, and without people like you sharing your story, those people that are in that similar situation may have never heard that someone else is going through exactly what they are going through. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. And for someone that's so accomplished, you were the 3MT winner, and now you're working on your master's and transferring into your PhD. What motivates you as a alum, St. Boniface grad? What is your it factor? What keeps you going?
I like to believe there is good in this world, that we can improve, we can get better, and that together we can create something beautiful. As you said, I'm transferring to my PhD. I'm starting medicine in the fall. And I've always been very motivated by health, been motivated by helping people and being empathetic. And I think one thing that I could really pull from that is I I like to understand that everybody that I meet has a story that we don't know. And as a future physician, that's something that I want to make sure that I'm keeping in mind. Whether I'm treating patients, whether I'm doing research for a disease, I want to know and I want to understand these stories. And even though they're hard, even though they can be difficult, I want to help bring these people up because it's not just me. We're all going through this together. And no matter what your story is, I really want to make sure that whatever I do in my life, I can do my best to bring the beautifulness, the beauty out of your story.
You know what? I can't wait for you to write your own book because it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be motivational with all the letters in the back of your name for your degrees and your accomplishments. How has the University of Manitoba and St. Boniface helped you ignite your passion and find your way?
A lot of it was just really great people. And I'm not even just talking about the students, I'm talking about the professors as well. The professors at the University of St. Boniface. And if you guys are watching this, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. You have no idea just how much you changed my life, whether that be perspective, whether that be helping me when I was struggling with assignments, and whether it just be talking at lunch. You've really helped me grow in a direction that I never thought would be possible. My mentors, my research supervisor, Dr. Richard Kaiser, the departments, I just feel that people working at the University of Manitoba, the professors there actually care about the students. And I'm very much on the side of, I don't really care how many degrees you have or how much expertise you have, but if you can share that knowledge with people and if you can inspire people to do the same, I think that's so important. And with all the professors I've had, I feel like that's only evident in everything that I've seen. And of course, the students, man, the friends that I've made along the way, friends that I'll continue to make along the way, it's wild. And I'm just so happy, and I feel very blessed to be in this position with all these people who care.
My final question is around what is something that you would tell yourself back then that you have learned now?
I guess it would be a very simple thing. I guess all I could say is, don't worry, it's going to be okay. I mean, if we're talking about it cumulatively, it wasn't just Belgium. There was a lot of things in my life happening prior to that that made it difficult even to get to Belgium. And it was always like I was chipping away at the same problem over and over and over again, when really all I needed to do was ask for help. All I really needed to do was be okay with not being okay, and realizing that that in itself is an act of strength. You don't have to be strong all the time, but in being vulnerable, you find strength in vulnerability. So be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, and trust yourself, knowing that everything is going to be okay.
Thank you so much, Nolan. And we are extremely proud of you, your alumni relations team, the University of Manitoba. And once again, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us on this special Bell Let's Talk edition of Wednesdays with Wilfred. You're definitely one of our champion alumni. All the best in med school. We'll be cheering you on there as well. And we can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nolan.
Thanks so much for having me.